Coming up on News 4, the dramatic attempt to free two people still trapped in the wreckage of Continental Flight 1713. The weather that may have caused that disaster spawns another in Texas.
Miami police are on the scene of a family dispute that has ended in tragedy, and Susan Lichtman takes us to a country born out of tragedy, struggling to fulfill its promises.
Stay with us.
You're watching Channel 4. WTVJ, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. Now, Pam Salisbury, Michael Putney, Bill Van Dusen's weather, and Ned Smith with sports. This is News 4.
You are looking at the scene at Denver's Stapleton International Airport, where rescue workers are frantically trying to save two passengers still trapped in a Continental Airlines jet. Good evening. On a tragic night in Denver where 19 people are confirmed dead and 54 others are injured in a plane crash.
It was a Continental Airlines DC-9 that skidded off a snowy runway as it tried to take off in bad weather. Emergency rescue workers are still on the scene trying to free at least two crash victims who are still trapped in the wreckage after more than 4 hours. One Denver police officer said firefighters were using everything they had at their disposal to open the aircraft in a chaotic rescue effort. Those first to arrive on the scene said it was a terrible sight, the worst you could imagine in a plane crash.
The wreckage is extremely mangled inside. There are seats hanging upside down, things like that. They have to try to get people without further aggravating their injuries.
Officials say the plane broke into two main pieces, but that the wreckage was extremely mangled inside, severely hampering the emergency rescue.
You have to realize, they've got a real problem with the weather conditions, and it's hard getting in and out of there. And that's one of the biggest problems now.
I was able to talk to two that I could still were fairly coherent, yes.
You share with me your conversation?
Just trying to stabilize them and just let them know we're here, that we're trying to get them out.
The 54 survivors were rushed to area hospitals. Officials say most of their injuries were from the impact of the crash, although there were flash fires reported aboard Flight 1713. Investigators haven't speculated yet on what caused the accident, but it happened during a heavy snowstorm. A spokesman at the Stapleton Airport says it's not unusual for the airport to stay open during snowy, frigid weather.
And the same weather system that may have contributed to that Continental crash spawned violent tornadoes today in Texas. 6 people died and 20 more were injured as the twisters roared through east central Texas, just west of Austin, to the Tyler area. Worst hit was Caldwell, where 2 people died and at least 7 were injured. Officials there say the path of destruction from the storm is about 12 miles long and half a mile wide. The storm's destroyed millions of dollars worth of homes, barns, and power lines. People do some strange things when they get behind the wheel of a car, and if you don't think so, listen to this story. Hialeah police say 27-year-old Florencia Villa cut in front of a car driven by Feliciano Gomez today. The drivers argued, and a passenger in Gomez's car pulled out a .38 caliber pistol and shot Villa. She is in critical condition tonight at Jackson Memorial Hospital. 20-year-old Maria Herrera has been charged with aggravated battery. A family argument tonight at this Northwest Miami home resulted in the shooting death of an elderly man, and a middle-aged woman is in critical condition. Miami police say the gunman is the injured woman's husband, Angel Perez. He is undergoing questioning at this hour at Miami Police Headquarters. The name of the victim is not available.
2 men are charged tonight with posing as police officers so they could rip off the real drug dealers. News 4's Amy Huggins says Miami Beach cops snagged them in a bust that deals a blow to the beach's drug market.
While you were sleeping this morning, these 2 guys were trying to rob a Miami Beach warehouse full of cocaine and pot. But what Hiram Pichardo and Oscar Rodriguez didn't know is that undercover police led them there in order to arrest them.
I believe they were planning on killing me afterwards also.
This man, a Miami Beach police officer who set up the sting, says Pichardo and Rodriguez have spent the last 5 years in South Florida stealing from the men who deal drugs.
They were mainly in the business of ripping off drug dealers and people who would not turn them in.
One of the suspects was carrying this when he was arrested. It's an M1 carbine. Police say it's a sawed-off rifle, and it is illegal.
Police found other weapons and about $30,000 in cash in Pichardo's West Miami home. Neighbors were shocked.
It's really hard to believe. They were real nice guys. They were quiet, not many parties at all. about the only thing unusual. As soon as they moved in, bars went up, fence went up.
Both men, who also had police badges, have been charged with a number of crimes, including drug trafficking and burglary. And even though they were committing crimes against less than upstanding citizens, police are happy these two are off the street.
Whether they're going to be ripping off criminals, I'm sure there's going to be innocent people getting in the way, and these guys would not hesitate to get those people out of the way.
Amy Huggins, News 4.
Now, that's strictly small-time drug dealing compared to what Carlos Later was said to be masterminding in Colombia. Later goes on trial in Jacksonville federal court tomorrow after months of delays and weeks of jury selection. The 37-year-old Later is accused of smuggling more than 3 tons of cocaine into the United States over a 2-year period. If convicted, Later could be sentenced to a maximum penalty of life in prison. Tuesday, a Palm Beach grand jury will be asked to indict John Howard on first-degree murder charges. Howard chased down and killed a man who was allegedly stealing his TV. Howard says he was only trying to protect his home and family, but prosecutors say no matter how justified it may seem, people can't take the law into their own hands.
An outpouring of grief continues in New York for Lisa Steinberg, that little girl allegedly beaten to death by her stepfather. People were still coming by Lisa's home to express their sorrow this weekend, although she was buried on Friday. While there are numerous child abuse cases reported every year in New York, the death of this 6-year-old girl has had a profound impact on supposedly cold-hearted New Yorkers.
It's so incredible. It's so incredible that the people here are torn with this pain. It kills you inside. I haven't been able to sleep last night just thinking about it.
Strangers have been bringing by flowers and lighting candles outside the house all week, and on Friday night there was a candlelight vigil in that neighborhood. Child abuse is not limited to cases such as Lisa Steinberg's. Many children are harmed in homes where you ordinarily would expect a happy family life. News 4's Marcy Reitman has found Broward child abuse experts are using a play to teach parents and teachers how to spot that kind of abuse.
It's called Mommy, If You Love Me, Why Do You Make Me Cry? In this play, Rita Adrians portrays 3 points of view. A mother under stress from a recent divorce.
Amy tried to pour the milk. And when she did, she spilled it all over the place. Can't you do anything right? Can't you? You're just like your good-for-nothing father wherever he is.
Her abused child.
Mama, she took the belt. It was on the chair. No, Mama, no. Please don't, Mama. Please don't hurt me, Mama.
And Amy's teacher.
I wish I could help Amy more, but what can I do?
Kids Crusaders for Abused Children, a volunteer group, is hoping this theatrical presentation, art imitating real life, will drive the message home.
But perhaps if people could see somebody have a short fuse, could see a child's pain, could see a teacher's ambivalence acted out, that they would have more meaning than just somebody, you know, giving off a bunch of statistics.
This play is not supposed to offer any solutions. It's supposed to make people think, to make the audience identify with the characters, everyday people trying to cope with stress. Judging from the reaction here, it worked.
It's every person. It could be every person. There's a certain degree of the mother in everybody that, like this mommy was, that just gets so angry.
Yeah, sometimes you go crazy. You know, sometimes you go, especially if you are under pressure.
And that's why this mother says the play should be seen by parents, kids, teachers, and counselors. Maybe through acting, she adds, we can all learn to react. Marcy Reitman, News 4.
Still ahead on News 4 tonight, Jewish leaders plan protests for Soviet leader Gorbachev's upcoming visit.
And Susan Lichtman takes us to Israel, the nation born out of the horrors of the Holocaust, preparing for its 40th anniversary. That's next on News 4. U.S. Attorney Leon Kellner ordered an assistant to sit on an investigation into weapons being illegally smuggled to the Contras. That's what the Miami Herald is reporting in its Monday editions. The paper says Assistant U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Feldman told Iran-Contra investigators last summer that his boss, Kellner, told him to delay the investigation for political reasons. Politics are involved, Kellner is quoted as saying by Feldman, "It's not a factor for you, it's a factor for me." Now, we couldn't reach Kellner tonight for comment, but in the past he has denied stalling Feldman's investigation.
Arms negotiators say they're doing everything they can to iron out a treaty as quickly as possible. They resumed talks in Geneva today, and even though there are still several sticking points, U.S. negotiator Max Kampelman says he's sure an agreement eliminating medium-range nuclear missiles will be ready for the superpower summit next month. When Soviet leader Gorbachev arrives in Washington for that historic meeting, he'll be greeted by a mass demonstration. Jews from across the country will be calling for the Kremlin to restore the rights of Soviet refuseniks, those Soviet citizens who are denied requests to immigrate.
For centuries, Jews have sought to return to their homeland. In fact, the State of Israel was created in 1948 to give those people a refuge. Recently, News 4's Susan Lichtman accompanied a contingent from the Greater Miami Jewish Federation to the land of promises to see how far Israel has come.
Israel is a study in contrasts, a fledgling nation about to celebrate its 40th birthday. It's also a region with ancient roots dating back to the beginning of recorded history. As farmers work the fields using modern-day equipment, some 30 minutes away, a Bedouin tends his flock, practicing an age-old way of farming. In the midst of rush hour traffic walks an Arab woman with her family, preferring a way of life far removed from the 1980s, a poignant reminder of a time long past, yet at the same time, ever present. Also ever present here in the land of promise is Israel's Defense Force, be it at this religious celebration, on the streets of Jerusalem, or guarding the Lebanese border. The military permeates all aspects of everyday life.
Our army is the army of the people. Without this devotion, there will not be Israel. Very clear and very simple.
The Israelis are a devoted people. What they have accomplished in just 40 years is staggering. They have transformed a barren desert into 500,000 acres of irrigated farmland. Villages have sprung up at a dizzying pace, both in the cities and out on the frontier along the occupied territories of the West Bank and Gaza Strip. Solar energy is lighting Israel's homes. Unemployment is at an all-time low. The defense industry is skyrocketing. The tourism industry is booming. But with all the progress, there is an undercurrent of age-old problems. The most pervasive, the issue of peaceful coexistence between the Arabs and the Jews. Jerusalem is a city divided. West Jerusalem is primarily Jewish. East Jerusalem, occupied territory taken by the Jews from Jordan during the Six-Day War, is mostly Arab. And the two sections are like oil and water. They just don't mix.
If they will go back to their real roots, they can coexist easy.
In reality, can they?
In reality, there's nothing that goes along here in the Middle East, one with each other. Even the Christians themselves and the Jews themselves and the Muslims themselves are divided.
Can there ever be peace in a region that has traditionally been short on peace? During the next 5 days, we'll take you to Israel, talk to her people about their lives, about their hopes, their dreams, and their frustrations as a country divided gets ready to turn 40. Tomorrow at 6, we will focus on what the Israelis gave up to live in the land of promises. Everyone we spoke to had sacrificed something, yet they stay determined to help the country grow. The series, which is in 10 parts, will air all this week on the 6 and the 11 o'clock news. We'll look at what life is like, examine Israel's military, discuss the issue of peaceful coexistence between the Jews and the Arabs, and among other things, meet some South Floridians who gave up their life here to live there.
A lot of territory to cover. Susan, when you came back, you described Israel to me as a land in transition. What did you mean by that?
Well, it's celebrating its 40th anniversary. If you say that life begins at 40, then Israel is on the verge of some kind of rebirth. Other people think that Israel's going through a midlife crisis at this point, and still others say 40 years in terms of the history of a country.
It's nothing.
Makes it, yeah, and they look at Israel as a rebellious teenager kind of kicking up her heels. We'll show you Israel and let you make your own judgment.
We're looking forward to it a lot. Thank you.
Thanks. Armchair astronomers will have a chance to observe a recently discovered comet this month as it swings away from the sun and back towards the depths of the solar system. Comet Bradfield achieves maximum brightness Wednesday. You should be able to spot it after dark in the western sky, and if you have a telescope, you should be able to see its tail. So after Halley's Comet, we got another use for the telescope.
There you go.
Windy.
Windy here, and Texas is still having troubles. They have tornado watches out there now until 2 o'clock in the morning for the central and eastern part of the state. The surrounding states until only midnight. We'll take a look at the radar. Most impressive in just a minute. Now Miami's reporting 78 degrees, same on the beach. Kendall and West Palm Beach 77, Fort Lauderdale 78. Tonight, our barometers at 30 and 1600ths and steady. It'll start rising, though, pretty fast tomorrow, and as it does so, our winds will pick up once again. Humidity 76%. We're gusting to 22 miles an hour at the airport. Constant breezes are east at 15, and surf temperature is at 78. There are some showers still down in the Keys. They're traveling to the southwest at about 10 miles an hour. There have been a few coastal showers just along the southern part of Dade County, so you may have a passing one still tonight. Here's that National Radar composite, and look at this blossomed area. What was over Missouri earlier, well, it's all joined together now as this frontal system is starting to move towards the east. We'll start feeling the effects in North Florida of it by Tuesday night. Now, this is where the tornado area, watch area, continues until 2 o'clock in the morning. As Michael has mentioned, already 6 people are known dead. Further to the north, heavy rain showers in Iowa, and snow continues in much of Colorado. As far as the nation's concerned, Colorado at Silver Cliff had 22 inches of the white stuff already. It's windy in the southwest. The Santa Ana winds have kicked in, and behind this system, there's a pretty good influx of wind as well. In the southeast and up much of the Atlantic coast, mostly fair skies today, but that'll change soon. The outlook calls for a cold front from the Lake Superior area, passing through a couple of low-pressure systems in the middle of the country and then tailing down into the southern part of Texas. Another system will be moving into the northwest. That'll trigger more scattered snow, rain in the coastal areas, snow in the higher elevations, and there'll be snow from South Dakota to Minnesota, and a lot of rain once again in the nation's midsection. Partly cloudy is our forecast for tomorrow. It'll be breezy, it'll be warm. We'll have some increasing cloudiness as that system gets to us, but generally, if you want to go to the beach, get out early in the morning. High temperature tomorrow should be near 83, low near 75, and for the boaters, look at this, 20 to 25 knot breezes. Real breezes, east-southeast. Seas will be 6 to 9 tomorrow, higher tomorrow night, choppy to rough, and there is a small craft advisory. So happy Monday, everybody.
Not the best sort of week ahead.
Well, it's a lot better than elsewhere, though.
Wow, what a weekend.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Bill. If you've had visions of game show stardom, stick around.
After a break, we're going to tell you how to become a TV high roller. Wow.
It's the hard way. There you go.
And here now is Ned Smith to tell us about Sports Final.
Thanks, Michael. Coming up on Sunday Sports Final, Tony Segreto and Hank Goldberg join me for a look at what exactly happened in that Dolphins-Colts game. We'll also review the rest of the day in NFL, and we'll talk live with members of the Orange, Cotton, and Fiesta Bowls, hoping to get to the bottom of a rash of possibilities. All that and more right after News 4 on Sunday Sports Final. The whole gang will be here.
Yeah. Hear no evil, speak no evil.
Yeah, bet on all the evil.
Okay, thank you, Ned. Pammy?
So, you want to be a star? Well, the state's lottery department's looking for a few good actors to star in its TV ad campaign. The only requirement is that you live in Florida. Lottery Secretary Rebecca Paul didn't like it when she found out the first commercial was cast in New York. But if jumping around and screaming is more your bag, you might want to try out for a TV game show like this one. 10 South Floridians just outspunked 100 others for a chance to win big bucks on high rollers. They had to pass a written test and play around here in Miami before getting the nod to travel to L.A. The new dating game will be the next to hit town, searching for contestants. Tryouts will be held at the Broward County Fair this Thursday. Men will be tested at 6 p.m., women at 8 p.m. And the final competition will be held Saturday. Ned, you're taking notes.
What are those times again?
We'll tell you later. Thank you very much. We'll see you again next week. Thank you.
Have a good
Good
week.
night.
Bye.